Here's to you, here's to me, ever friends we should be, but if we should ever disagree, fuck you, and here's to me. Is my head in it? Or is my head chopped off? My head isn't chopped off? Okay. As you tempt me with my desires, I'll take a walk into your fire. Another elaborated story to tend to your vicious glory. I don't mind, I don't mind, but I do. I'm so out of key here. Not me, my guitar is. Anyway, I didn't get on to play the guitar. I got on to complain about the chemtrails. The chemtrails are killing my pumpkins and every other thing out there. This is my first beer. I just cracked it open. Pecan ale. I love pecans. Love pecans. I have been obsessed with, I'll show you what I've been obsessed with. In fact, I think I've been having this for dinner for a month now. No, I'm just kidding. I am obsessed with bourbon praline pecan ice cream. I think I could live on this. That's, oh, it's so good. Anyway. I'm going to show you what this last dose of chemtrails has done to my pockets. It just makes me so mad. I wish I had the ability to blow these people out of the sky. I mean, when they start chemtrailing, when you just like to blow them out of the sky. I mean, they're spraying us like unwanted bugs. We would be justified, don't you think? I think we'd be completely justified. Anyway, we're gonna go stroll out there and see how horrible they look, because they look absolutely horrible. And my grandson got me this hat that I'm sporting. Not a big fan of the USA government, but I am a fan of all the patriots that live here within, that are trying to get the democracy out and bring our republic back. I'm all for them. Not for our government that's spraying us like unwanted bugs, though. I don't understand why we are unable to get anything done. I don't get that. I guess we'll probably end up having a war with our government if they don't stop. Or maybe we won't. Maybe there's just a few of us and they'll just kill us and, you know, we'll be free from their grips. I mean, I like to at least think that, you know, once this avatar, this body's dead and gone, they won't have control over me anymore. I like to think that. I might be naive in that. I don't know. I guess I'll find out. I got my basil essentials done. Essential oils done. Yes, I did. And I put it in I refurbished a bottle that used to have brandy in it. And this is it right here. Used to have brandy in it. It's a really pretty bottle. So that's a good idea. Instead of tossing them out, use them for your essential oils. This bottle here had the grapeseed oil in it, and I just put the rosemary essential oil back in that bottle. But I only had like a little tiny bit of brandy left, so I thought, let's do that and use this bottle for the basil oil, because it is a really pretty bottle and it holds a lot. So I did that, and I wanted to share a secret ingredient to making the best brownies ever. These are the best brownies ever, and the secret ingredient is black walnut oil. If you use this in your brownies, and I'll tell you another secret, you're really gonna need to use a dark chocolate, and you will have the best brownies. I wish I could share one with you. Maybe one day I will. That lid isn't very tight, so I put saran wrap on it and then this on it so they stay fresh. Okay, let's go outside. Oh, let me grab, oh, this is a new thing. This is where I'm going to grow things. I'm going to put my growing light hanging from there, and I'll show you, I've got another light that I am going to mount up in here for the seeding. I'm going to mount it up in there, and then one on the bottom for seeding purposes, and actually they can grow there for a while too. And then as they get bigger and I cut the herbs down and utilize them to dry them, I will move them up and start new seeds down here. But yeah, I got this over the weekend, and that's going to be where I grow things. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to grab my beer. Oh, and look at what I did so I wouldn't get my head chopped off. I put stacked books. That was my grandson that came in. And I asked him if my head was chopped off. And he said no. So I believe him. I mean, why would he lie to me? I have a story I also want to tell you that happened to me. While we're gallivanting out into the garden, this probably looks quite different from the last time you looked at it, but as you can see, all the seeds here. And then I've also been I had some chive seeds. They're really super tiny, and I've been putting them in here. This packet here, it had onions in it, but I am utilizing it for my chive seeds that I collected from my garden, and I'm just gonna put a piece of tape over it and state what it is. I've got a bunch of these to store seeds. I've got that can too that I'm storing the cilantro seeds in. Anyway, last video the pumpkins didn't look that great, but they even look worse now since the last dose of chemtrailing, and it put me down too. I was so fatigued the last few days, and all I did yesterday was sleep. That's all I could do. I was so tired and fatigued. But look at that. How horrible. Look at all of, you can see where, they land on it. All the spraying. And we're breathing this in, folks. I wish people would wake up to this and demand it to stop. Whatever they're doing it for, it's not a good enough reason. I think they're doing it to hide the heavens for what they truly are right now. And, of course, control. Everything's about control. Look at what it's doing to my pumpkins. It's not like I have enough to fight trying to do this organically. But I'm having to deal with this crap too. It makes organic gardening pretty much impossible. And I just laid these black beans and squash down. How well it's going to do, I have no idea. But look at that mad mess. Makes me sick. It just makes me sick. If these pumpkins do survive, they will not be for eating. They'll just be for ornamental, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, the story I wanted to tell you was about, I got on this device 2 days ago, and there was like 10 tabs open and running, and it said Facebook on it. And I never opened up a Facebook page to have a Facebook page, but I did open up a Facebook page once, trying to find someone. She was my best friend, and she went to prison for a long time for murder. And when she got out, I thought she might open up a Facebook page. Actually, I knew she had a Facebook page because someone told me, because she got on their Facebook page and was asking about me. So I wanted to talk to her, because the last time I talked to her, she was in prison for murder, and we got in a big fight because I was watching her son. I had him for 5 years, and we got in a big fight because she was making demands on me of what I needed to buy for him, and she had just purchased a big boom box, and she wanted me to buy slippers for when he got out of the shower, because they had this had this program back then where he would go spend whole weekends up in prison. Guess where this man is now? He's in prison. Yeah, I never thought that was a very good idea. Sending children up to see their mother for whole weekends inside a prison. But anyway, we got in a big fight because she's telling me to buy this and that. And I'm thinking, well, you could buy it. If you can buy a big boom box and new jeans and this and that for yourself, why don't you try, being a mom and buying your son what he needs or what you need for him to have. I'm already buying his school clothes. I am buying his food. I'm putting shelter over his head. You do it. It really pissed me off, and I had talked to her since. And, anyway, I wanted to talk to her and sort this out. I had him for 5 years because she didn't want him to go on to the Indian reservation because she didn't want him to turn into a drunk like herself. She drank during her whole pregnancy with him, and he has problems because of that now. He has fetal alcohol syndrome. And he told me a few times, when I grow up, well, I'm going to be like my mom and I'm going to prison. Well, he's in prison right now, and he's always in the hole. He got hooked up into gangs. And I ride him and I send him a little money here and there. But when I first got him, he was only 3, and he was infested with head lice. He has coal black hair. He's Omaha Indian, and you could just see the eggs glistening in his hair. And I wasn't gonna deal with it. You know, I just shaved his head outside. I wasn't gonna take a chance of fighting because that stuff is so hard to get rid of. But I'm rambling. I'm getting off track. The main part of the story is, okay, I open up my device and it's got like 8 or 10 tabs open, and it says Facebook on it, but it's not in English. Other than the Facebook logo, the rest is like in Chinese, Japanese, Korean. I don't know what kind. I don't know how to read these languages, but it's these kind of characters, and it's just running all these tabs, and I start clicking X, getting them all off, and I'm thinking, okay. I started this Facebook page to try and find her. I had never really, I think there might have been a few pictures on it, but I had never really, I don't recall ever having anybody on it. I opened it up to find her, if I remember right. It's been that long ago. And so this freaked me out. I'm like, what are they trying to, get in there to pretend to be me since I don't go and post stuff? What are they trying to do? But anyway, today I went on, and it'd been so long I didn't even remember the password or anything like that, so I had to make a new one. And I did that just so I could shut it down, and I shut it down. It takes apparently 14 days before it's technically shut down, so I'm going to keep my eye on that. I don't know what's going on there. It's a bit alarming because I've already had people using my credit card in other countries. How they got access to this is probably this thing right here, this device. Okay, yeah. So I eventually did talk with her. It was because she came around here. I didn't ever find her, but she did come around here, and actually she came up by probably when I was planting that last batch of Indian grass, and she wanted something from me. And it seemed off. It just seemed really off what she was up to, and I'm not going to get into it, but anyway. And she was supposed to come back the next day, and she didn't. Anyway. I basically got on here, though, to document the death of my garden from the chemtrailing, and if it's doing that to the garden, just imagine what it's doing to us. I know I've always looked like 10 years younger than what I am, and in the last few years I've aged a decade. It's affecting me in multiple ways, and there's nothing I can do about it. What do you do? Carry onward, my wayward son. Alrighty. Peace and love.